Hey, this is Alex Muir. I want to take about 5 minutes to answer a key question that I get a lot. And that question is, what do I say to my dream employer? So remember, uh, my background is Cornell, KPMG, Ernst Young, which is which are top organizations in HR strategy. So this is a question that I get a lot, and this is my general response, right? And so when someone says, "Hey, Alex, what do I say to my dream employer?" I get this email a lot, and I usually say something like this: "Hey, friend, this is perfect timing. I'm excited to help you land your dream role. You need a tailored approach and support system as a senior professional. Remember, you are seeking a specific experience that needs to be tailored rather than accepting generic job openings. Ask yourself, do I have the time, materials, and strategy to convince an employer in 90 days to make $1 million investment by hiring me for a 5-year period to execute my dream role within their vision?" And the answer is you probably don't. And that's why I have this 5-step approach, which I call the Wow Dream Transition approach. And what that usually covers is your Wow introduction email, one, the Wow resume, the Wow career pitch, keyword career pitch, the Wow recruiting roadmap, and the Wow executive coach or transition coach, right? And so I'll just take you through those so you understand. So number one, with the Wow introduction email, you really have to understand that you're going on a 90-day experience to get this dream role. And so you want to have a series of communications already set up. That's going to take time to set up, but once you do, it's pretty automatic, right? So you want to make sure that you have a strong 200-word email that stands out from the over 50 weekly emails, generic emails that goes to a top executive via their LinkedIn, email, etc., the information overload. And really, they don't want to answer those emails because they're not generic. They're very generic. And within that, you have to display that email. You have to display that you've conducted research in the organization and that specific person. Convey some of your key achievements of someone who's interested in speaking with you, and then provide, this is the key point, providing a timeline for your personal recruiting roadmap, right? Those few things really make someone realize that you're not only looking for a role, but you have a timeline that you want to do this in, right? You're a very specific person. You are a skilled person. Number two is the Wow resume. And so that's creating a document that tells a quantitative story of how your expertise translate to business outcomes, right? And so you really have to capture the reader's imagination with specific details that allows them to envision you solving their problems, right? And I always tell the story of, hey, you don't want to say I'm a burger flipper at a restaurant, but you're the number one burger flipper in McDonald's. You specialize in the Big Mac. You've made over 2,000 burgers in the last week. You know that gets someone that wants to listen to you, right? And then let's talk about number three, the career pitch, right? And this is key, right? You want to think about yourself as, I'm selling $1 million product. This is what someone, when they hire you, this is how they're thinking subconsciously. Am I going to bring this person on for 5 years and pay their salary, the taxes, the benefits, and integrate in the team? This is really $1 million investment. And so you have to pitch yourself in that way, meaning, hey, in 10 slides, can you explain the tailored role that you want to bring to the organization and how it aligns with them over a 5-year period? And I always tell people to, let's start with a chief of staff role, because at your senior level, it's a good way to gain access to leadership and then naturally transition over a 2-year period, to another role, right, at a VP level role. And I always tell people to say, hey, I'm the chief of staff coming in with a superpower, right? And so that superpower could be legal expertise. Hey, I'm a former attorney. I want to come in and be the chief of staff of your organization. I bring, this legal experience that is a added benefit, and you can see yourself over the 2-year period transitioning to the VP of transformation. Now, why do I use the word VP of transformation? Because that's a general title that will allow you to do projects that are specific that you want to do, right? So typically if you're a senior professional, you're looking to do something that is unique, get your, brain stimulated, right? So the chief of staff is a good way to come in with this particular superpower, and then you could set up this whole division of the VP of transformation that takes on these specialty projects, right? And what's even key in this 10-slide presentation, right? You're pitching yourself like you're asking for an investment, right? Is that you also make sure that it has the appropriate graphics in there, icons, images to make this presentation visually appealing, right? It can't just be a well-crafted written document that definitely will help you do, right, or literally do for you, but it has to have visually stimulating information in there. And then number 4, let's talk about the WOW recruiting roadmap. And this is important because you really have to manage up or gain the employer to see your sales approach, see how you're really selling yourself or offering your talent, right? And your talent has a timeline. So even in that first communication, it's hey, or in the early communication, right? Maybe not the initial one, but hey, day 1, it's the initial email that goes out to the employer, right? We talked about 200 words. Day 7, I want to have that 15-minute conversation with a key leader on staff. Day 14, I'm looking to have a 1-hour conversation with the relevant hiring managers. Day 21, by that point, I'm looking to have a compensation discussion if we're still in the process. And by day 30, I'm looking to accept this offer, right? And so it's really letting someone who is a senior leader, right? You're not talking to, the regular generic job descriptions, but you're talking to someone that has the ability and likes someone who is proactive in their approach. This is what I have to offer. This is my vision to come to an organization, and I'm looking to have a decision made within 30 days, right? This is executive communication. Now, let's transition to step 5, right? In terms of the WOW executive or transition coach. And this is something that people don't think about often, right? This is their first time making their way to executive ranks. But it's hiring an executive coach who's a good listener, confidence builder, and a good writer, right? And so you should have peace of mind throughout this process. That's a critical moment in your career. One of the things you really have to understand is that you are a high-performing person and you're busy in your current role, and you probably do not have the time or the expertise to consider how to market yourself for your dream role. And so you're an expert at your current role, whatever that is. And now you have to allow an expert in human resource strategy to help you land that dream role, right? And so, I end by saying, the initial thing that people come to me for are, they ask the question, what do I say to my dream employer? We went through the steps of the WOW introduction email, the WOW resume, the WOW career pitch, and the WOW recruiting roadmap, and in getting your WOW executive coach, right? Number 5. And so I can do that for you. My background is, over 12 years HR, investment banking, and management consulting experience with Cornell, Duke University, MBA. I withdrew from that program for entrepreneurial reasons. Management leadership for Tomorrow, New Leaders Council, KPMG, Ernst & Young. And, I also do some volunteering with the Boys and Girls Club. And cross your fingers, I should be coming through the, board of directors appointment. But, just want to convey that information to you. Hope it's useful. Reach out whenever you get a chance. Take care.